Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Tuesday, November 3rd. I am Khalil Kato with the details. Virgin Atlantic Airlines has announced that it will commence flights to St. Vincent and the Grenadines by June 2021. The airline will offer a twice-weekly service using its Airbus A330-300 aircraft with 31 upper class, 48 premium, and 185 economy delight, classic, and light seats. A team from Virgin Atlantic and the SVG Tourism Authority held a news conference today at the Argyle International Airport on the plans. The airline's chief commercial officer said they are excited to link SVG to London.
So Caribbean has always been a crucial part of Virgin Atlantic history, and we're always looking for new destinations, new opportunities. And when our teams looked into and discussed the opportunities with the team here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's just an amazing opportunity, and we believe it's a perfect timing after we emerge out of the crisis. Hopefully by June 21, there is a huge pent-up demand of Europeans, people from UK, wanting to travel to these beautiful islands, and also, of course, the diaspora that we discussed already, flying directly from London Heathrow to St. Vincent.
The CCO added that the large planes will be used, hence there would be more capacity for increased cargo. He also commended SVG for its handling of the COVID-19 situation, as it helps to ensure safe travel. Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Cecil Mackey said the introduction of flights from Virgin Atlantic is good news for arrivals, pointing out that SVG's tourism industry has been hit because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
You coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as I indicated, is very special. And as a tourism destination, we have been focusing on growing our numbers, and you are going to give us that excellent opportunity to further expand the tourism sector. We are an emerging, very competitive destination in the region, and I'm sure that your presence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines would allow us to grow that even more.
Minister of Finance Camilo Gonzalez said the entry of Virgin Atlantic to SVG was only possible because of the construction of the Argyle International Airport. He said the country is in a better position to accommodate visitors, as there would be a stock of more than 2,000 rooms.
An exponential increase in room stock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which means a lot for employment in the country, but it also means that it gives some level of comfort to major carriers like Virgin, that there will be enough rooms to take comfortably all of those passengers traveling in the highest standards of comfort and style to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have, of course, in addition to the diaspora, where we do have a very strong diaspora presence, not only in the United Kingdom, but a number of retirees here who have family back home, who want to travel back and forth, who have returned home and made their home here. We also have islands in the Grenadines like Mustique that are predominantly, the homes there are predominantly owned by citizens of the United Kingdom.
Deputy Prime Minister Sir Louis Straker also welcomed the airline.
A lot for us, because we know on your brochures you would be putting St. Vincent and the Grenadines as one of your destination points. And people would be inquiring as to what exotic spot on earth could this be. We have always said this is the one place where you can go to paradise without dying. So we want you to bring them here so that they can enjoy paradise while they are alive.
Virgin Atlantic currently flies to Barbados, Antigua, Jamaica, Grenada, and is also waiting to resume its Trinidad and Tobago service. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has called on the UN Security Council to find solutions to ensure the attainment of international peace and security. The PM today hosted the signature event where the permanent representatives from various countries debated security issues across the globe. He also made a statement as Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where he highlighted major issues that need to be addressed.
Apart from the implications of COVID-19, states are also distressed by the ever-intensifying hazards of climate change and a corresponding rise in zoonotic diseases like dengue fever, increased mass human displacement, the continued spread of cross-border terrorism, escalation of acute food insecurity, and other contemporary challenges which overlap and interlink with each other and are propagated simultaneously across the social, economic, political, and security systems of states.
Dr. Gonzalez said he looks forward to the continued support from all leaders as they properly represent the people by taking bold steps to end the suffering of peoples around the world.
And humanitarian continuum. Adequate resources must therefore be made available to improve lives and livelihoods, while bolstering national ownership over political and peace processes. The importance of social inclusion and national ownership cannot be overstated. These are the vital ingredients on which the collective identities and stable relationships required for lasting peace are built.
Some of the countries represented at today's virtual signature event include Russia, France, the United Kingdom, the United States, and Germany. St. Vincent and the Grenadines assumed presidency of the UN Security Council for 1 month during November, and today's virtual signature event was one of several activities to engage the international body during this period. After 4 weeks of learning how to improve nutrition in their small ruminants and poultry, a group of farmers last Thursday graduated from the Farmers Field School. The program, which began on October 6th, came as a result of a request from the Ministry of Agriculture for technical assistance from ICA, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, in the development of small ruminants and poultry. Speaking at the graduation ceremony, technical specialist for ICA, Dalton Michael, encouraged the farmers to apply what they have learned. He said this Farmers Field School came at a most critical time, and the Ministry of Agriculture and the team did a great job with their presentations.
Being a part of this important undertaking. At the end of the day, this is intended largely for your benefit. It is my hope that this continues for you in 2021. I express my thanks to all others who would have contributed in some way to making this activity a success. In this journey, sometimes you're playing the lead role. Sometimes you have a side role. All roles are important and must be acknowledged when we are looking for successful outcomes.
Congratulating the graduating batch of farmers who successfully completed the program, Deputy Chief Agricultural Officer Renato Gums pointed out that the government committed over $100,000 towards the project.
I don't believe anybody was granted any favor in being graduating here and then meet what we call the matriculations of the program. Now, I must first of all say that this program is very important to us. I've always had concerns about what happens in the dry season in St. Vincent and the Grenadines regarding feeding animals. As I said before, we had instituted a program where we had to send trucks to cut grass in the interior, take it down to the coast, and this kind of thing. So I hope going forward from this program, we'll be able to kind of reduce that we'll be able to use what we have in the rainy season, the forage we get, the excess forage, and prepare it for the dry season.
Gums said having visited the animals in the Farmers Field School, he has seen an increase in their growth, and he knows that it will work well for the animals and poultry on their individual farms.
We are beginning to build a new arrowroot factory, and one of the key things is getting arrowroot BT to use in the whole feeding exercise. So now we will have to make the modification to that new factory where we can efficiently collect that BT. I had a look at the animals down there. She made sure that, and I saw significant improvement in the condition of the animal, and I felt really good. It tells me that her program is working, and I expect it to work on your farm. I mean, so, and I myself would like to pay some visits with you, Dr. Tim, to these farms, eh? Okay? Okay, good.
Two Vincentians who are pursuing studies at the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies were recognized and awarded for their service to the Barbados government. Police Constable Devon Butte, a final-year law student, and Zandali Williams, who is pursuing a master's degree in business analytics and marketing, received accolades at a ceremony held last Wednesday, October 29th. Their recognition was in relation to service at the boys' unit of the government's industrial school in St. Philip, also known as DODS. Both Vincentians provided outstanding mentorship work at the school under the Promoting Agency, Trust and Hope PATH program over the past year. The PATH program is sponsored by Templeton World Charity Foundation under the auspices of Oxford University and coordinated by the Institute for Gender and Development Studies at the UWI Cave Hill campus. Commissioner of Police Colin John and other officers and ranks of the local constabulary have congratulated Constable Butte on his achievement and extended best wishes to him in his future endeavors. President of the Voice of the Disabled, Cheryl Adams, is advocating for the rights of persons with disabilities to vote in this upcoming general elections. She said it is also the right of a person with a disability to vote for a candidate of their choice. Adams, who is visually impaired, told SVG-TV News that she has received complaints that relatives are determining for whom their relatives with disabilities should vote against their will.
I've been having some conversations and some telephone calls, and family members are at the view that their disabled loved ones should vote for the candidate of the choice of the family. But I am saying, because they are disabled doesn't mean they don't have rights, and their rights should not be violated by family members or friends or anyone. Allow them to make their own choice. Once they can differentiate the candidate, they should be able to make their own decision to which of the candidates they wish to cast their vote.
Adams said that she has voted in the past and would like to see better provisions in place for persons with disabilities to vote.
I think that preparations are being made at the different polling stations for our different able members of the society. When they turn up, they would not have any challenge. The wheelchair, those that are in wheelchair, there should be wheelchair access. We have those that are hearing impaired. I'm hoping that there would be someone at each polling station to sign and explain to these special persons the procedure, also the visually impaired.
Meanwhile, Supervisor of Elections Dora James has stressed that it is indeed the right of persons with disabilities to vote. Speaking yesterday on NBC Radio, James explained how this can be done.
I have two choices. You can come with your elderly cousin and you can state, the person will state, and the presiding officer will ask them to, if you will accompany them in terms of voting, and the person will have to make a declaration, and you will be given that opportunity to vote for your relative. Now, your cousin or your relative also has another opportunity. They can ask the presiding officer to cast the ballot for them. So it's either the presiding officer do it on the person's behalf, or you can do it on your relative behalf and prepare to make a declaration, because you have to state the facts.
As it continues to push for the youth vote in Thursday's general elections, the New Democratic Party last night hosted a youth rally at Heritage Square in capital Kingstown. Party leader Dr. Godwin Friday told the large gathering that the NDP's campaign to take office is neither about him nor the party, but about the young people who are the future of the country, and that under an NDP government, their future will be brighter.
It is a choice between a party that has been in government for nearly 20 years, even though the behavior now like it to just start. You know, and they break all their promises. They tell you they're going to do something and they don't do it. And then they come, when they see the end of the road coming, they're bringing all kinds of promises. They're saying all kinds of things to try to get you to forget what happened in the last 4.5 years. But nothing runs so. Because they believe, you see, they believe that they own this country. But all that you have been telling them now for the last several weeks is that they don't own the country. We don't live on anybody's plantation. We are a free and proud people. And anybody who thinks that they could come with a sweet talk and a bag of goodies at the end of 4.5 years of neglect and get us to forget, they have another thing coming.
Dr. Friday said the NDP is focused on job creation, especially for the young people, noting that those who will not be working should be studying or engaged in skills training to improve their current situation, as his aim is to create a country in which everyone will thrive.
It grieves my heart so much when I go around the country and I see the young people are struggling. They come out of college and they can't find a work. Some of them, they come from university and they can't find a work. And then there are some people who have the gall to tell you that things are better now than it was before. All of the indicators, what you're feeling in your belly, what you're feeling when you see your children and you can't find things to give them to eat. When you see your neighbors struggle and they're worrying about their lights cut off and the water bill can't pay, and you tell yourself, how could they say that things better in Vincy? We know it's not like that. And I tell you what, all the pain that you've been feeling, their own study, they had a poverty assessment study that shows that the pain that you're feeling is real.
Dr. Friday said under an NDP government, everyone in the country who wants to work will be able to do so, and that other opportunities will be created for everyone to have a bright future.
The pain that we are feeling in this country will be relieved immediately upon our government taking office. Because I tell you this, I understand that the people of this country, not only are we paid lower than anybody else, we are overtaxed. We are taxed more than all of the other countries in the OECS, and you feel it. So, we are going to give you relief immediately. We will reduce the VAT from 16% down to 13%. You can clap for that. And when that happens, it means you have more money to spend to buy more groceries. And that will make things a little easier for you and your families. But that's just a start. We want to change the environment in this country so that businesses don't have to find that the government is fighting against them, or they have to fight against government, or that you have to have a party card in order to succeed.
A number of the NDP's candidates who spoke at the youth rally reinforced the party's plans for job creation and other opportunities for the youth.
Democratic Party, we are laser-beamed focused on creating quality jobs for the young people of this beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So when we talk about creating quality jobs, they're talking about 5-star general.
Many of our young people have lost hope. But I am here to tell you that there is hope. There can be a brighter future for you. It is time for a government that will do what they say they will do. A government that has a plan for you. Not just fair, nor scare tactics, nor handouts at elections, but a real hand up every single day. We in the New Democratic Party has a plan for you. We do not take Vincentians for granted.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has promised residents of Hollywood and Fitzhughes in the North Leeward constituency title for land and the purchase of government-constructed houses at a very low cost. Speaking last night at a ULP meeting in Chateaubriand, Dr. Gonsalves also pointed to the bridges and river defenses, noting that these were constructed for their protection.
for the land. And you know what we do? No, I'm giving you title and I'm selling you the houses too. You know how I'm doing it? A one-bedroom house, you pay $1,000, including the land. And a two-bedroom house, you pay $2,000. That is all. You get a house which worth over $100,000 for $2,000. I know some of you feel that some people who got the house, some of them are NDP people. I know that make you vex. But the point is this, remember this, and hear me this. No, hear me this. When the weather come and it bad, rain falls on the godly and also on the ungodly.
Dr. Gonzalez also spoke on the NDP's plans regarding marijuana cultivation and persons having trees in each home. He said this will lead to sanctions against St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the loss of certain privileges.
That a plant will grow up to 10 feet. 5 by 10 feet, that's 50 feet of weed. Everybody here knows that you can use weed properly, you can misuse it, and you could abuse it. If you go and put 5 plants in everybody's yard, you are breaking international law. And they will bring sanctions against us. So you ain't going to get your Western Union money. Your banking relations are going to be strained. And you are going to kill the medical cannabis industry.
The ULP leader also spoke about the Citizenship by Investment program and highlighted the disadvantages and dangers that it could cause to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
You ask him how you going to create jobs. They tell you sell passport. Well, you know when you're selling passport, you bring in the Chinese, you bring in, and they're going to just buy up all the land in this country. They're going to make you a slave in your own country. Like they're doing in several countries in Africa. People in Jamaica complaining about that. People in other parts of the Eastern Caribbean complaining about that. I ain't criticizing the Chinese government, you know. It's the Chinese people who decide when they come to these places and they buy your citizenship that they want to take over the place. And the only people who going to benefit other than the Chinese and the people who selling passports, the Europeans, are the accountants and lawyers in St. Vincent who working for them.
Dr. Gonzalez acknowledged that there is an unemployment problem in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. However, he said there will be more jobs available through such avenues as the construction of hotels and the port development project, among others.